Here we go with fourth grade Excel, lesson 90. We're going to be learning to determine the question, figure out the question when you're given information and the answer. So this is kind of like backwards of what normal word problems are. We're going to figure out how many weeks there are in a year and learning about estimating reasonable answers. Make sure you pay attention to this whole video. Listen along, follow along on your paper, and don't forget to pause the video when I say to pause the video. Here we go with number one. Let's read here first. All right. And, let's bring it back out again. There we go. For the following problems, you will be given information and an answer. You will need to choose the correct question. So this is where we're at right here. Jackson earns $7 an hour. Last week, he worked for 2 hours. The answer is $14. What is the question? Let's look at our choices here. A, how much money did he earn last week? B, how much money does he earn an hour? Or C, how much did he earn for working 4 hours? Okay, well, they kind of give you the answer right here. How much did he earn, excuse me, last week? But let's look at the wrong answers first. How much money does he earn an hour? Well, it says that he earns $7 an hour right there. So the answer could not be 14 to how much he earns per hour because it tells us that he earns $7 per hour. So that answer is definitely wrong. How much did he earn for working 4 hours? Well, what does this problem have to do with 4 hours? It says he worked for 2 hours right there. So that can't be the answer. But it would be, how much money did he earn last week? Well, if he worked for 2 hours at $7 an hour, 2 hours times $7 is $14. And that's what it says the answer is, $14. And so A would be the correct response. Okay, I'm going to have you try one. Pause the video and do number 2. Turn it back on when you have an answer chosen. All right, here we go. It says, at the amusement park, Jordan rode the Ferris wheel 7 times and the roller coaster 9 times. The answer is 16. What is the question? Well, I can tell by looking at it right away that 7, 9, and 16, that 7 plus 9 is equal to 16. So it's got to be putting the Ferris wheel rides and the roller coaster rides together. How many times did he go on the Ferris wheel? No, he went on the Ferris wheel 7 times, not 16. So the answer would not be 16 to how many times he went on the Ferris wheel. How many times did he go on the roller coaster? Well, it tells us here that he went on the roller coaster 9 times. So the answer would not be 16 to that question. How many total times did he go on a ride? Oh, yes, the Ferris wheel and the roller coaster are both rides. And when we add them together, 7 and 9, we get 16. Let's see, I'm having a little trouble there. Okay. Pause the video. I want you to do 3 and 4, and then turn it back on when you're ready for the solutions. All right, so you should have already done 3 and 4. Melanie scored 3 goals on her top 6 games and 2 goals in 9 other games. The answer is 15. What is the question? Well, I notice that 6 games and 9 other games, when I put those together, I get 15. Let's see, let me make that go away. All right, so I think it's going to be asking about the games. How many goals did she score? Well, she scored 3 goals and then 2 goals. Well, 3 and 2 does not make 15. So that is the wrong answer. In how many games did she play? Well, if she played in 6 games and then 9 other games, she played in 6 and 9 or 15 games. So that is what they're saying. The answer is 15 right there. So I know that's correct. Let's see why C is wrong. Why C is wrong. How many goals did she score in her best games? It tells right here that she scored 3 goals in her top games, or her 6 best games. So the answer to that would not be 15. The answer would be 3. So that can't be it. Number 4, Brittany bought a blouse that cost $9 and a jacket that cost $20. She gave the clerk $30? The answer is 29. What is the question? When I see 20 and 9 put together, I get 29. So what does that 29 represent? It's the blouse and the jacket put together, right? How much was her change? Well, if she's buying something that's 20 and something that's $9, she's spending $29. If she gives the clerk $30, 30 minus 29 would be $1. Her change would be $1, not $29. How much money did she spend? Well, yeah, she spent $20 and $9. So that would be the correct answer there. How much money did she give the clerk? Well, we already know that she gave the clerk $30, not $29. So that's incorrect. All right, let's move on over to here. And we're going to be looking at this part up at the top. 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. For the following problems, you will need to select the answer that is the most reasonable. Well, that's all we did there. 1 year is 52 weeks. You got to memorize that. If you can't remember the answer, then you can Google it. Or what you can do is if you remember that there's 365 days in a year and there's 7 days in each week, you can do a division problem and your answer is going to be close to 52 to remind you that there are 52 weeks in a year. Anyway, back to this. For the following problems, you will need to select the answer that is the most reasonable. Reasonable means the closest. In order to determine reasonableness, you will need to round each number so that there is only one non-zero digit. At that point, use the rounded numbers to estimate the answer. Then look at each of the choices to see which one comes the closest. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to help kids on these because they try to find the exact answer. But we're going to find an estimation of the answer, a close answer. I'll show you how that's done. Martha works for 26 hours a week. Which choice is the most reasonable, which means that we're going to estimate the answer. We're going to round the problem, not the answer. That's what a lot of kids like to do, is they like to round the answer. For how many hours she works in a year? Well, if she works 26 hours in a week and she works for a year, she's, like we just learned, she's going to be working for 52 weeks at 26 hours. Okay, well, we don't want to do 26 times 52 because that gives us an exact answer. We're going to round the number 26. Let's round that to 20. We're going to round the number 52. That rounds to 50. Excuse me. Oh, I made a mistake. 26 rounds to 30. 30, not 20. Let me see if I can erase that there. There we go. Okay, put it on there right. 26 rounds to 30. I'm glad I caught myself there. And then we multiply 30 times 50, which you put down the 0 placeholder for that. And 30 times 5 is 150, right? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. So it's 1,500 hours, 1,500 hours. Now that we have 1,500 for our estimation, I am going to pick the answer over here that's the closest. Well, the closest to 1,500 would be 1,300. That's the most reasonable answer. It's there. Okay, it's your turn for number 6. I just want you to do 6 and make sure you round the numbers. You're going to show your work right in here with the numbers rounded. Do that now and then pause the video, turn it back on when you have an answer. All right, so you should have given it your best shot here. Recently, 78 people each ran 19 laps of a track in a jogathon that raised money for a local hospital. The hospital received $1 for each lap. Which choice is the most reasonable for the amount of money that was raised for the hospital? Well, if 78 people are running and they each do about 19 laps, 78 is going to round to 80. You should have written 80 down here to show your work. Always round the numbers in the problem, not the answer. And then you're going to round 19 laps to 20 laps to make that close. For the 0, we put a placeholder down there, and then we're doing 80 times 2. We can do 0 times 2 first if you'd like to do it that way, and then 8 times 2, which is 16. 1,600 is our estimation, and we have to pick the one that's close to 1,600. Now they're trying to fake you out with B right there. Do you see that? 16. You see the number 16. You're like, oh, that's it, 16,000. Maybe I did something wrong. Well, the answer is nothing close to 16,000. It's closer to 1,500. So you should have picked A for 1,500. All right, pause the video, try number 7. Don't forget to show your work here and round before you do the math. All right, here we go. So you should have already done the problem here for 7. Randy figured out that he was spending $8.95 a day for food. Which choice is the most reasonable for how much money he spends in a week? Now, I bet some of you did this a little bit wrong. $8.95 rounds to 9. And then there are 7 days in a week. If he does about $9 a day for 7 days, there's no reason to round the 7 because it's already easy to multiply 9 times 7. He spends about $63 in a week. Which one of these answers is closest to 63? $62 right there. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.